Hi, I'm Susan Coelho. I'm 21 years old and I'm gonna share my budget on the Andaman trip. And this is a video for all those friends asking me about how much you spend in the Andaman trip, what it costed me. So here's the video. Okay, I'm gonna first start with the flights, accommodation, food, as well as sightseeing and travel. Okay, but before that, you don't forget to hit the like button. Also subscribe and press the bell icon so that every new video that comes out, you can just get a notification for it. So please do hit the like button. So first of all, when a lot of people plan on going for the Andaman trip, they look at the three islands. First thing is you reach at Port Blair, where you land at, and then you have Havelock, and then you have Neil. And those are like the major islands. There are other islands, but then it depends on permission and a lot of other things as well. Okay, so I'm going to speak about flights. So I was coming from Mumbai. There are no direct flights to the Andamans. While I was going, I took a flight from Mumbai to Chennai to Port Blair. And while I was coming back, my return flight was from Port Blair to Kolkata and Kolkata to Mumbai. And now the flights in total will range around 10 to 15,000. It depends on when you book and how much in advance you book. So I booked around 1.5 months in advance for my trip. It costed me around 15,000, and plus because I had baggage, I had my keyboard, my violin, so the baggage cost me more, 4 to 5,000, approximately 4 to 5,000 more. So yeah, that's about the flights. I'd always suggest book in advance, at least a minimum of 2 months in advance. I have noticed that when you book it like 3 months in advance, you get it like pretty cheap. So 3 months is good, but then also like we are living in a very unsure time, such as COVID. So, you know, there are a lot of things you need to think about, which is why I wasn't able to book it like months in advance. The second thing I would like to cover up is staying and accommodation. Okay, so in Port Blair you have these hotels. Usually what people do is they land at Port Blair. Okay, they take a ferry to Havelock or Neil, depending where they want to go. Okay, but they only stay in Port Blair for 1 or 2 days maximum, because Port Blair has, you know, cellular jail and a few sightseeings compared to the other islands. Okay, so in Port Blair the stays will cost you around the hotel, and you know, the hotel stays will cost you around 1,000 to around 2,500. There are some resorts will also cost you from, you know, 3,000 to like 6,000. So it completely depends on what your budget is and what your needs are. If you just want to be, you know, staying there for 1 day or 2 day and just pack up and then go to any of the other islands, then it makes sense to go for a more standard budget hotel. But if you're planning to be there for long, like, you know, going to Chidiya Tapu and, you know, diving at all these other places in Port Blair itself, near Port Blair itself, then it makes sense, you know, staying at a resort. But when it comes to Havelock and Neil Islands, the other two islands which I have been referring to, these two islands you can you get stays at resorts. Okay, the resorts will cost you anything from 1,500 till 15,000. Like for example, there was this one island called as the Neil Island. Okay, and you had stays ranging from like 2,000. The one which I was staying was, it cost me around 2,000, 2,500 per night. If you're staying for longer, they might even decrease the price for it. And then there was also these hotels, these you know, luxury hotels which would cost around, you know, 10,000 per night or so. So it completely depends on what you're looking for and what your budget is. Now when it comes to food, it's mostly Bengali food. Somehow I've noticed there are a lot of Bengalis in the Andamans. Okay, so you get chicken, you get fish. Now it's an island, so fish, but vegetarians also have an option in all of the islands, so that is a good thing for vegetarians. You have veg options. One thing to understand is that, in fact, on the other hand, vegetables are more expensive there. So people traveling there looking for eating veg food know that, you know, tomatoes, like I remember buying tomatoes for like 190, 200 rupees per kilo. The reason being behind, everything has to be shipped from the mainland. So you're shipping things from the mainland, it's going to be expensive, traveling will cost more, and sometimes there is non-availability of even the most basic necessities. So plan your trip accordingly and keep the food part in mind. Now there are a few things to note. A lot of people go to the Andamans for barely 4 to 7 days at the most. Okay, I happen to go there for 1 month. Yes, I know that's a lot, but I really like being in an island and I like being near water, especially when you come from a place like Mumbai where you're near water but you cannot really dive, and pools have been closed for what, like 2 years now, so I can't even swim. So yes, I like being in these islands, so I went there for a month. But if you're looking for like 7 days to 10 days, it will cost you anywhere between 50,000 to 60,000, and that's my estimate. Okay, sometimes it might cost you less. The main role playing in what kind of hotel you choose and your flights. So the flights will come under 15k. Okay, 15k to 17k at the most. Okay, then you have your accommodation per day, even if you catch 2,000, as well as food and activities. Now depending on what activities you take, it will cost you more. If you go for diving, like I've mentioned in the video, once you go for diving will cost you from 3,000 per dive till up till 5,000 per dive, depending on which dive sites, because sometimes a boat has to go way further away from the shore for a few dive sites. But if you're just trying the dive, not going there for you're not a certified diver, not fun diving, if you're just trying the dive, it will cost you anywhere between 7 to 20,000, depending on which dive shop you're going through or which dive center you're going through. So thank you for watching my video. Please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm, and I'll be posting more such videos. Bye bye. See ya.